YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new then welcome to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, become part of the fam. Today I want to talk about my journey with my weight and weight gain, weight loss, my whole experience that I've had with my weight. If you see me looking down, it's because I have a couple of notes down here, just things I would like to talk about today. Just so I don't ramble, because otherwise this video could end up being about 20 hours long, because I could ramble for England sometimes, like I'm doing now. Anyway, let's get started. My weight journey began around 9-10 when I moved house around that time, and I think I became less active. Like, I wasn't out on the street playing with my friends every day, so I think it just naturally crept up. So then going into my teen years, I was always, I wouldn't say on the larger side, but I was larger than my school friends, but I wasn't huge. Like, I had a few extra pounds and you could tell, but I wasn't huge. I think I developed a bad relationship with food in that I would come home from school and I would just eat junk food while doing homework, and then I'd have dinner, and then I'd have a snack in the evening. And it wasn't good food choices, as much as my mum tried, and I think it just created a bad relationship with food. That progressed then to early adulthood, late teens, early adulthood, when I became independent. I had the freedom to buy whatever I wanted. So my food shopping consisted of like chocolate, crisps, pizzas, you know, all the stuff that is commonly associated with gaining weight. And I felt like I had free reign on that, and I could choose what I want, buy what I wanted. And I think that because there was nobody there to stop me, I just got worse and worse. And at this point in my life, I was in a pretty toxic relationship, which I have talked about in a much older video, but it was a pretty toxic relationship. My mental health was deteriorating, which meant that my eating habits were deteriorating and my weight was going up. I wasn't leaving the house, I was staying at home all the time. The more weight I gained, the less I wanted to go out, the less I wanted to do things. And I remember at 16 years old I weighed 16 stone, and I remember that specifically because when I was 17 I weighed 17 stone, and I just remember thinking, am I just going to keep gaining a stone every year of my life? And I was eating a bit better at that point, but nothing perfect. But before I realised it, I had ballooned and I was huge, and yeah, it became a downward spiral, which, like I said, then led to when I lived on my own and independently. I could buy what I wanted. There was no one looking over my shoulders saying, don't buy that. Don't you think you've had enough pizzas this week? Don't you think you've had enough bags of crisps today? So I mentioned that I was in a toxic relationship, and I think a lot of people struggle with their weight when they're in a relationship. They become comfortable, they don't have to try to impress anybody. You know, you become lazy, you order takeouts a lot, you stick to the same routines, which I know I definitely did, and I know I definitely ordered a lot of takeouts and ate a lot of the wrong foods. And I think the fact that it was a toxic relationship led to it being an unhealthy environment, an unhappy environment, so I tried to cover my feelings with food a little bit more. And it's not just the fact that it was a toxic relationship, because I'm in a very happy and healthy relationship now, and my weight still goes up, and that's nothing to do with the relationship this time around. I think, other than the fact that we got a bit lazy and we just order takeouts a lot and go to restaurants and just not really cook healthier options. I think that it happens to a lot of people. So my bad relationship with food continued for years and years and years, right up until recently, so all the way through my 20s as well. And in my early 20s, my doctor referred me to what is known as a specialist weight management service. And basically, you go and see a dietitian or a psychologist. They talk to you about your feelings regarding weight, like your eating habit, and what you think could have caused it. And they suggested I had weight loss surgery, and I was, no, I didn't want weight loss surgery. I don't need weight loss surgery. Why would I need weight loss surgery? And it's funny because looking back on it now, it seems like I went through the 5 stages of grief, which makes sense because I suppose I was grieving my health and my weight and my body and my youth and everything that I missed out on because of my weight. And I wish now, having looked back on it, it's my biggest regret, that I had taken them up on that surgery option, because that was about 5 years ago, and I could be where I wanted to be now had I taken that option. But everything happens for a reason. I can't dwell on the fact that I didn't take the surgery when it was offered to me 5 years ago. I had a lot of fears surrounding that surgery, that people would judge me. Oh, you took the easy way out, you chose to have surgery. I think I based a lot of my decisions on that fear that people were going to judge me. I think at the time my mum said that no, you don't want to do surgery. You don't need surgery. You can do it. You know, you're young, you're pretty healthy. Yeah, you're overweight, but you're healthy. You can do it. And I think that stuck in my mind, like, I'm healthy. I'm young, I can do it. Of course I can do it. Shortly after I got discharged from the specialist weight management service because I didn't want the surgery, I ended up with my spinal injury, and then shortly after I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis in my knees. I then got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. My mobility has gone through the floor. I no longer work because I just can't manage it. I think that brought me to the realization that actually maybe I can't do it and maybe I do need some help. So I reached my breaking point, and it's funny because it happened so fast. It all happened because my partner brought a lottery ticket, and we were having a conversation about what would you do if you won the lottery, like we often do because we're daydreamers. And I said, if I won the lottery, I would get weight loss surgery. And I started researching it, and I felt very disheartened from it because the NHS was in shutdown because of COVID. So it was going to be like a 2 to 5 year wait on the NHS, and I knew that private wasn't really an option because it was just too expensive. And I obviously, like I said, I wasn't working, I'm not working, I don't have the funds. So I spoke to my mum. You know, the person that told me that I didn't need surgery, and she paid for my surgery for me. I am eternally thankful to her for that because it has turned my life around. It's only been 4 months. I had my surgery back in February, and it, like I said, it happened so fast, and I'm still in shock, and I still don't even realise I've had the surgery sometimes. Because it happened so fast, my brain hasn't processed that this has happened yet. So it's been give or take about 4 months since my surgery. And I am doing really well. I will go into my journey with surgery in another video because that's a whole story within itself. There's a lot I'd like to talk about with that one, but I am 4 months post-op right now. I am feeling so much better. I couldn't have imagined how good I would feel after surgery. I am very, very thankful that I was able to have this opportunity to have the surgery. So I'm going to wrap that up here. That is the summary roughly of my journey with my weight. I genuinely think that you do go through the 5 stages of grief. But anyway, I'm going to wrap that up here before I sit and ramble till the cows come home, and I will see you guys next. Bye guys.